speech modulation controls, in the Add and Edit Narration clip dialog, let you add voice punctuation to the text, to make the speech more expressive. Voice punctuation can change voice characteristics, like speed, pitch, and volume at any point during the speech, relative to their absolute values, which are set in the speech over preferences. It can also introduce pauses of various lengths to make the speech more realistic. The controls insert special text characters, or tags, into the clip text, at the point where the change is to occur. These tags can be deleted manually. The tags are special characters that cannot be entered with the keyboard, only with the buttons provided. In this lesson we'll learn how and when to insert these characters for the most effective results.
Let's see how to enter and preview the text to be spoken. Open the Add Narration Clip or Edit Narration Clip dialog. At the bottom is the area where you enter the text to be spoken in the narration. The preview controls below the text area allow you to preview and adjust the narration before creating the narration clip. The play button speaks the text in the screen with the voice selected in the voice box above. Do not ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. To listen to part of the text, select it. But what you can do for your country. The stop button stops the voice at the current position. Do not ask what your country can do for you. The double arrow skips to the next sentence, for voices that are programmed for it. Check the Fast Check box to have the voice speak faster, for a quick check of the text. Do not ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Text-to-speech voices are responsive to regular text punctuation, periods, commas, colons, question and exclamation marks. Correctly punctuating the text is critical to making the spoken text sound realistic and easier to understand. Here are some tips. Periods. Always end sentences with a period. The voice uses it to make a proper ending, and to introduce a delay before beginning the next sentence. Do not ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Commas. The comma is the most important punctuation mark for speech. It divides sentences into clauses and phrases. Use commas liberally to get the exact phrasing you want. Use them even when not grammatically correct, if it makes the sentence more clear. Later on, we will learn about the rhetorical pause, which lets you subdivide a sentence even more. Example, do not ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Colons. The colon introduces an expectant pause. Use it for leading phrases. Example. There are two cases, the lowercase and the uppercase. Example, do not ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Question and exclamation marks. Use these also when appropriate. Most voices recognize them. Example. What's your name? My name is Ryan. Hyphens for adjusting accents. Use the hyphen to control phrasing and accents in successive words or in a single word. The hyphen will usually cause the accent to be placed on the word or syllable before the hyphen. Frequently, you can hyphenate a word to correct its pronunciation by shifting the accent to another syllable. For example, object, when hyphenated, becomes object. Note, don't confuse the hyphen with the longer em dash, which is reserved for silent pauses. Reordering sentences. Sometimes you will need to reorder or restructure a sentence to get best results. The speech modulation controls, called the SAPI editor, are located in the Add Narration Clip and Edit Narration Clip dialogues, above the text area. The controls are a row of buttons just above the text area. Let's describe them briefly. From left to right, the first group are the pauses buttons, that let you enter 3 types of pauses into the text. The speed buttons let you increase and decrease the voice speed. The volume buttons let you increase and decrease the voice volume. The pitch buttons let you increase and decrease the voice pitch or level. And finally, the emphasis button lets you emphasize a word or phrase. The Tips button provides help on this topic. Let's look in more detail at the 3 types of pauses. The first button enters an M- pause with a default time of 0.5 seconds. Use an M- when you need a pause longer than a comma. Compare the following 2 examples, the first with a comma, the second with an M-. The car was finally delivered, nearly 3 months after it was ordered. The car was finally delivered, nearly 3 months after it was ordered. To introduce a M- pause, proceed as follows. Place the cursor in the location where you want to introduce a M-. The location must be between 2 words, and not inside a word. Click the M- button. An M- appears at the cursor position. You increase the pause time by concatenating M- to add another pause. Click the M- button again. Another M- appears, indicating another 0.5 second pause, that is, altogether a 1.0 second delay. The second type of pause is the rhetorical pause, a short pause denoted by a vertical line for separating a sentence into clauses for better understanding. The rhetorical pause can make text-to-speech voices sound professional by improving the articulation and diction of the voice. There are simple guidelines for how to introduce them that are quickly learned and easy to use. To introduce a rhetorical pause, place the cursor between 2 words where you want the pause and click the vertical line. The pause is entered. To delete the pause, just delete the vertical line. Let's hear 2 examples, one without pauses and one with pauses. Do not ask what your country can do for you but what you can do for your country. Do not ask what your country can do for you but what you can do for your country. The third type of pause is the paragraph pause for separating text sections into paragraphs, corresponding to separate topics. The recommended ratio for setting delay times is, M-, period, paragraph equals 1, 2, 4, 8. These pauses are adjustable in the Preferences Elocution tab. To introduce a paragraph pause, place the cursor between 2 words where you want the pause and click the paragraph symbol. The pause is entered. To delete the pause, just delete the paragraph symbol. Alternatively, press Enter twice in a row and the paragraph symbol is entered. Let's hear a sequence of pauses, rhetorical, M-, period, and paragraph. It's that time of year again. Time for New Year's resolutions. I'll make a resolution if you do. Now let's discuss something else. Here are the voice speed controls. You can increase and decrease the speed of the voice, in units of 2, in a scale of -10 to +10, relative to the absolute voice speed, which is set in the Speech Over Preferences, TTS Voices tab. To change the speed, position the cursor between two words where you want the speed to change. Click on the left-pointing triangle to increase the speed, and the right-pointing triangle to decrease the speed. You can designate an entire section in which the speed will be increased. Select the section and click on Increase Speed. An increase speed tag is inserted at the beginning of the section and a decrease speed tag at the end. You can decrease the speed for a section in a similar way. If you want to increase or decrease the speed by more than 1 unit, you can concatenate the tags. To remove the speed tags, just erase the arrow symbols from the text as you would a regular character. Let's see an example. The car goes faster and faster and faster. The car goes slower and slower and slower. In a similar way you can increase and decrease the volume and pitch of the voice. For the volume there are two settings, full volume, 100%, and half volume, 50%. You can increase and decrease the pitch of the voice, in units of 2, in a scale of -10 to +10. Let's hear an example of the pitch. The pitch goes higher and higher and higher. The pitch goes lower and lower and lower. The double exclamation point is the emphasis symbol. You can have the voice emphasize a word or phrase. This is useful for removing ambiguities in prosody and making the meaning more exact. Select the word or a phrase to be emphasized and click on double exclamation point. The symbol is inserted before and after the selected section. Remove the tag by erasing the double exclamation point, as you would erase any character. The rhetorical pause when placed after a word also emphasizes it. Here is a comparison of the two. Emphasize a word. Emphasize a word. In this lesson, we learned to use the voice modulation controls to add voice punctuation. We learned to enter the 3 types of pauses, the em-, rhetorical pause and paragraph pause, control the voice speed, volume and pitch, and emphasize a word or phrase.